as I mentioned before, we have Minnie. She will be our presenter. Let's start, please.
Okay, thanks, Nor. Welcome, everybody. This is Minnie, working at Vinchin as the sales manager. I'm very privileged to be here and have the opportunity to introduce Vinchin to all of you. I hope you will get a clear understanding of Vinchin and following up with our backup product of my presentation. Okay, let's quickly check today's plan. First part, I will give you a quick introduction to Vinchin Company, who we are and what we do, and also some typical cases. After then, it's key features and the Vinchin advantages sharing compared with VM and Crownless. After then, Norm from ABS will share with you Vinchin new released special version, Enterprise EOR. And then is the live demo. And at the end of this webinar, I will also provide our Q&A part. So if you have any questions, just raise them and we will answer you immediately. Now, let's go to the first part. Who is Vinchin? And Panda, yes, the city where Panda comes from is named Chengdu, which is also the Chinese national software industry base. And Vinchin was born in such a beautiful place. Vinchin was founded in 2015, based in Chengdu, China. And there is also a very strong R&D team behind us. The leaders have more than 10 years of experience in data protection, focusing on backup and disaster recovery technology research and development. Besides, Vinchin is the very first virtual machine backup vendor in China. Meanwhile, we own complete intellectual property rights and independently develops all the technologies. And also, Vinchin got the first patent for instant recovery technology in China. As you can see here, shows some marketing activities we've held, and also we have been interviewed by the Chinese TV stations. And up to now, Vinchin has already been a technical partner of the world's leading virtualization managers, such as VMware, Oracle, Citrix, Avert, OpenStack, and Red Hat. So this is a good foundation for our backup software to be able to back up them. And since Vinchin was founded, we've got a lot of typical cases already from different industries from all over the world. First, I would like to share the Chengdu Government Service Cloud, which has more than 80 beauty support departments, and there are more than 2,000 virtual machines running on their OpenStack platform. Using Vinchin software, over 1,000 virtual machines and tens of terabytes of data were backed up in 2 days. Another case from China is the PetroChina, which is the number 32 Asia's largest oil and gas producer. Also, the Fortune Global 500 ranking and the number Forbes Global 2000 ranking. And there are 80 VMware hosts with 160 CPUs totally in the environment. Honestly, they are also tested Vim, but choose Vinchin finally, not only because we have functions that satisfy them, but our excellent support. You know, support is also a very important part when you evaluate our product. With Vinchin Backup and Recovery, hundreds of VMware VMs with more than 80 terabytes data have been under protection since December 2019. Not only that, there are very few support requests from them because of Vinchin easy-to-use console and performance stability. Not only in China markets, we've also got a lot of education, retail, and government cases from other markets. For example, here listed the University of Manchester, the QS World University ranking number 27, which provides the backup solution for the cancer research project. And the Évora University, the second oldest university in Portugal, and the Lake, the largest energy producer in Eastern Germany, and the Leclerc, leading retail group with over 800 stores in and outside of France. And listed the 3 government agencies, Polish government agency, Ireland government agency, and the Bulgaria government agency. And for other industries, we have LACA insurance from Argentina, which owns over 2,200 employees and 67 branches. And the 6 manager and the Avery, which are from IT industry of Chile and South Africa. And the right, Fidelca Telecom from Italy, Airport Finance from Mexico, and then we also have the university cases from Malaysia, hospital cases from Brazil, a manufacturer from US, and the VVP, the transportation from Thrace. If you would like to learn more Vinchin cases, welcome to visit the customer story section of Vinchin website. Okay, after a brief understanding of Vinchin company, now let's take a look at the Vinchin Backup product and its main functions. Vinchin Backup and Recovery is an innovative Vim backup solution which can support up to 10 mainstream virtual platforms, including VMware, Hyper-V, Oracle Linux virtualization, Manager, Red Hat virtualization, Verge, OpenStack, Citrix, XCP-ng, and others like SimForHCI. So if you have not only one virtual platform in your data center, it's possible to manage the backup and recovery of these platforms using only one Vinchin web console. And here are some highlights of Vinchin virtual machine backup. Let's take a look at them one by one. The agentless backup means users don't need to install any agent in Vim OS before performing the backup. Backup server performs the backup and recovery directly through the hypervisor label. And the CBT and the SpeedKit, both two technologies can be used to improve the computing speed when performing the incremental backup. And the SpeedKit is a technology developed by Vinchin, which can work as an alternative of CBT for faster incremental backups. Besides, we also support data deduplication and compression features. Enable these two features, Vinchin server will deduplicate and compress the backup data before saving into the backup storage, so which can achieve the purpose of reducing the usage of the backup storage. And we have the bit detector. It's also a technology that Vinchin develops, which can further reduce the backup data by excluding swap files on partition space, partition gaps, and deleted file blocks when doing the backup. According to the statistics, combining these 3 functions, deduplication, compression, and the bit detector, the backup data can be reduced to more than 50%. So let's continue to look at the column map on the right. Not-free backup. With this feature, the backup data can be transferred directly from the production storage to your backup storage via the storage area network without affecting your production network load. So Vinchin also supports this advanced feature. Then for the last functions, for every incremental backup, on-site or off-site backup copy and the backup archive, I will give you a detailed introduction along with other highlight features later. First, let's see the for every incremental backup strategy, how it works. As I see it here, full backup will be performed only once at the very beginning, and the future backups will always be incremental. And the backup server will always back up the new and change the data blocks. But I have to see it's very risky to have a long backup chain, as all points in time are required to restore the Vim to the latest state. So you need to control the number of points in time using retention policies. For example, if you would like to keep 7 points in time, when the S point is generated, the first incremental backup will be merged with the full backup, and the time step of full backup will step forward. So for every incremental backup keeps running, but you always got the 7 points in time in storage. In general, this backup method can significantly reduce the backup time, minimum your network bandwidth usage, and also reduce the use of backup storage space. By the way, for every incremental backup is fully supported with all virtual platforms Vinchin supports instead of hybrid. And this is the Vinchin multi-threading transmission and the speed controller features. Lot mentioned them before. The first two features can be used to adjust the speed of the backup and the recovery. Usually, multi-threaded data transfer is default enabled to backup and restore VMs through NAT, which can fully utilize your network and I/O resources for backup and restore. And users can increase or reduce the threads from 1 to 16 as per the CPU of the backup server supports. Usually, the default thread are sufficient. Here is our customer feedback of screenshot from a customer with Green 6. Sorry, it's in Chinese, as this is a Chinese government project. They are using the OpenStack virtual infrastructure, and this screenshot is taken while they were performing backup jobs. As you can see, the total speed exceeded 1.5 gigabytes per second, and the peak speed of a single job excluded 1 gigabyte per second. So multi-threading can dramatically improve the backup and restore speed. But what if your backup speed is too fast? This is also a question. So to avoid multi-threading transmission from impacting on your business critical services, speed control can be scheduled to limit the network bandwidth and I/O resource usage during business hours. Meanwhile, allow full transmission during the non-business hours. So with the multi-threading transmission and the speed controller combination, you can configure your ideal backup speed to make your service and backups run smoothly. This feature I would like to introduce you is our backup load feature, which is usually applied with medium to large environments. How it works, let's take a look at this topology diagram. Suppose there are 3 VMware clusters in your production environment, cluster A, B, and C. And except the installed Vinchin backup server, you have deployed 2 other backup loads, load 1 and load 2. In this scenario, you can back up cluster A through the Vinchin server and then send it to the corresponding backup storage. And the backup cluster B through the Vinchin load 1 and then transfer it to the backup storage, and so on. So, with the growth of your business and the virtual infrastructure, the backup architecture can be scaled out through adding the backup nodes to distribute workload from backup server to the backup loads, and then speed up the backup process. Most importantly, adding the backup loads will not require extra license fees and also will not add the complexity of the management and maintenance of your backup infrastructure, as all loads can be managed by a single web UI of the backup server. Sorry. And to help the Vinchin users build a successful data protection and make sure the data does not lose or destroy due to any kind of disaster, Vinchin recommends them to save multiple backups in different locations. How to realize it using the Vinchin backup tool? We have 2 functions: backup copy and the backup archive. First of all, let's focus on the offsite backup copy feature. This feature allows our users to deploy another Vinchin backup server in the remote site, and then copy the local backups to remote site as planned. When any disaster occurs to the primary site, users have the option to recover target virtual machines from backup copy and take over the business from the remote site. And after rebuilding the primary site, users can also able to restore the copy data back to the primary site and then restore it to the production environment. So this feature, offsite backup copy, can be used for the disaster recovery. If you don't have the remote ODR site, you also could use feature to copy the backups to another on-site storage, and to make sure your data is double protected. What is the backup archive feature? It can be used to archive your local backups to the public cloud, such as AWS, Alibaba, and besides, next version we will support the Microsoft Azure. So which type of data is suitable for archiving? We recommend you can archive data that is no longer used or in active state, but still has business value to ensure that your data can be accessed when needed. And but from there, you may have a question. What's the differences between the two features? Customers often ask me this question. Archive can be performed upon full incremental or differential backups. But when archived to the archive storage, the incremental ports will be integrated with other ports into a lattice different port. Which means only 4 backups will be saved. But the backup copy will always replicate a copy of the backup data to your on-site or your off-site copy storage. So the copy data will be the same as backups. The copy incremental backups will be the incremental. But in the archive storage, only 4 backups will be saved. So that's the differences between these two features. After understanding the virtual machine backup feature highlights, let's focusing on the virtual machine restore feature highlights. For virtual machine recovery, we have instant restore and migration, file level granular recovery, and for virtual machine recovery, cross-host or cluster recovery, and other advanced features. Besides advanced notice you that our next release we will support cross-platform recovery. Which means you can restore the backups from any virtual platform to another any platform as long as they are supported by Vinchin. Next, I will give you a detailed introduction about our instant recovery and the granular recovery features. Instant restore is an important virtual machine restore feature which can be used in some emergency situations to bring your business critical service back up online in a matter of minutes. How it works? Once the instant recovery task is started, the Vinchin server will create our virtual machine and then mount the backup data to this virtual machine by using the interface protocol. This process usually takes only a few seconds. So if the virtual machine is booted successfully, you're able to restart your business at that time. After the instant restore, the virtual machine has run through the business hours, then you can choose to migrate all the data, no matter it's new or old, back to your production storage to complete the whole restore process. And by the way, instant restore feature can be also quickly verify the backup data availability. And then let's quickly go through the file level granular recovery. It's a very useful feature to restore your virtual machines from file or folders level. In most cases, when the virtual machine needs to be restored, is only because of files or application data being accidentally deleted. It's time-consuming and unnecessary to restore a whole virtual machine for the files or the data. So under such circumstance, granular restore feature will help. When performing a granular restore job, all files in the target virtual machine will be directly presented on the Vinchin Backup server web. And the users can then browse and download the cloud files and folders from the browser. Besides, the granular restore feature also works with 4 incremental and differential backups, so you can restore files from any desired time point. And in order to help you have a fully fully understanding of Vinchin product, here I've made the comparison table with our competitors, Vim and Acronis. Let's see the comparison with Vim firstly. Okay, from the perspective of supported virtual platforms, Vinchin supports VMware, Hyper-V, the server XCPNG, and others, but Vim only supports the Vim, Hyper-V, Nutanix, actually. And for the supported storages and Vim, from the on-premise storages, you can see here Vim does now support the iSCSI NFS, but Vinchin supports. And besides, Vim supports the IBM Cloud Object Storage, but Vinchin does not support currently, but we will support it in the future. From the virtual machine backup perspective, for backup, for every incremental backup, and the specified virtual disk to backup, multi-threaded transmission, and both Vim and Vinchin support. And for the backup data encryption, Vim support that this feature also will be released in quarter second this year. And the CBT both support backup to tape, Vim support, and Vinchin will release in future. Bit detector and both support, and for the virtual machine recovery and only the cross-platform recovery, current Vinchin does not support, but it also will be released in our next release in quarter second this year. Others, from others aspects, on copy virtual machine backups to offset storage and others features listed here, both Vinchin and Vim supports. Only the data visualization, Vim does not support. And later in my demonstration, I will introduce this feature to you very detailed. And for the web console, I have to see the Vinchin web console is more easier to understand than the Vim web console. And for the support services, and we provided the 7 multiplied 24 hours fastest factory support, answer phone in 1 minute, reply email in 15 minutes. But for Vim, I'm not sure. Maybe it depends on the Vim local support efficiency. And last point, Vinchin users are able to enjoy the free technical support for life. What does it mean? It means Vinchin will provide the free debug and maintenance for users for life. Will not charge them 1 penny. It's free. And Vinchin will only charge the upgrade service annually. For example, if users have upgrade demand, like upgrade to the latest version, we will charge them on this part. But it's free for the first year. And if your customers don't want to upgrade, they still can use the Vinchin software and enjoy our free technical support. But Vim, customers need to pay annually for technical support. And then let's take a look at the comparison with Acronis. Acronis, from the supported hypervisors, Acronis supports VMware and Hyper-V with agentless backup. But for other platforms, backup agent is required to be installed on each VM. And from the virtual machine backup aspect, Acronis does not support the specified virtual disk to backup and restore virtual machines in batches. And from the virtual machine recovery, Acronis does not support the restore virtual machine in batches, specify virtual disk to restore, save MAC address, specify network for restored virtual machine. And for other advanced features, Acronis only support the instant VM recovery, does not support the migration. And Acronis also does not support the non-free backup and recovery, and increase incremental backup speed for them. And the KVM, Acronis also does not support it. And for the on-backup unnecessary data in OS, Acronis also does not have this feature. And regarding the web console, Vinchin is also more easier to use and understand than Acronis. And for the support services, Acronis depends on the local efficiency. Okay, this part is the enterprise ALR version introduction. This version is the new special version released this year that is only valued this year. For more details, Nor will give you a detailed sharing. Nor, please.
Yes, thank you so much, Minnie. Hello, everyone. This is Noor again from ABS MENA team. So in this part, I will speak about the new license plan, okay, made especially for 2021. Enterprise LR, okay, this is the new plan we made with like Vinchin team. So before I start talking about Enterprise LR, let me introduce you to the current plans that Vinchin have. So we have Essential, Standard, and Enterprise. Okay, so they differ from like each other based on the supported environment and the number of sockets. Okay, and the features. They like if a customer require more features, they have to upgrade, etc. So the new Enterprise LR plan, it seems like it's like the Essential plan. It works only for VMware and Hyper-V, but actually it has all the features of Enterprise plan. This is the amazing thing about this plan. Also, as a special, very, very special offer for our partners and customers, we will offer this plan at the same price as Essential plan. Okay, but only for a limited time. As I said before, this Enterprise plan LR is only available for this year only. Okay. In addition, you can get this plan for up to, can you go to the next slide, Minnie?
Okay.
Yeah. Also, you can get this Enterprise LR for up to 20 CPU sockets. Okay. Yeah, right now. Yeah, so as you can see, the Essential plan and the standard plan, you can it support like up to 10 sockets. So if you, for example, you have 15 or 13 sockets, okay, you will have to go to immediately to the Enterprise. Even if, for example, you want only this like a Vinchin backup solution for your Hyper-V, for example. Okay, so this Enterprise LR new plan will support your request up to 20 sockets, which is like I think is very, very like good enough for all the small businesses and like medium-sized businesses. Okay, and also another like few things I want to talk about is that this plan, the minimum order for this plan quantity is 5 sockets. But the amazing part is that you can get this 5 sockets. For example, if you are a reseller, you have 2 or 3 small business company, okay, like customers, you can get within one order 5. And then you can divide it, this 5 sockets, okay, into 2 or 3 customers. Also, this works for end customers as well. So if you are a company and like, for example, you have a sister company or like another branch, so you can get like 5, the minimum, the 5 sockets, okay, and divide it between you, your company and your other sister company. Of course, this Enterprise LR is limited for VMware version 7 and Hyper-V version 2019. Okay, so this one, like I want to highlight this point. So if you want to support for a higher version, you need to get an upgrade for sure. I will, of course, if anyone interested to know more about this point, I will email it to you in details. Also, if you want, for example, of course, the support for LR, it's same as Mini mentioned. It's free for life as long as you are okay with this plan. I mean, everything is working fine with you. Everything is working like as you want. Okay, so the support will be forever free. But for example, if you want to get an upgrade, let's say you have 18 sockets, your company got like bigger, so you want more, then you have to upgrade to enterprise. The beautiful thing about the upgrade, you have only to pay the difference between enterprise and enterprise LR. So you don't have like to get a new, let's say, license, new enterprise license. So this is also another like very, very like good feature about this offer. Okay, I think that's all from my side. Please, if you have any question about this plan, okay, if you want to know in details about this plan and full features, because we didn't like put all the features inside this 2 slides because it didn't fit actually. So if you want anything, please let us know. We will be more than happy to like assist you. And as I mentioned, just for like last time, to notify you, this plan is only available for this year, 2021. Okay, and I think now we can move on to live demo. Minnie, back to you.
Okay, thanks, Nor. Thank you for sharing. Okay, so let's go to the live demo. I will show you the briefly how the Vinchin Backup works and what it can do for you and your organizations. Now I will go to the Vinchin Web Console. Wait a second. Now I will enter my password login. So this is the Vinchin Web Console. And the first arrow I want to talk about is the dashboard. The dashboard covers all the information having to do with your appliance about the Vinchin Backup. As you can see here, we've divided it into multiple subsections. First, we've got the time information, server time, total uptime, and the trial license information. How many sockets I can back up, and when the license expires. And also, we've got the virtual infrastructure information. How many virtual machines I have protected, and how many virtual machines and hosts I have totally in this virtual infrastructure. And if you have added multiple virtual infrastructure to this Vinchin server, then you can click this drop-down list and select the individual virtual infrastructure, and then you can check their informations. And here we also have the backup storage statistics, how many free space I have, and the total capacity I can use. And also if you have added a multiple backup repository to this Vinchin server, then you can click here to check the individual backup repositories. And this part, we have the backup load status. This part, you can monitor the system resources of the backup loads. Click here to select a load, and then the CPU usage, memory usage, and the real-time network flow all will be showing here. And here is the current job subsection, and here is the history job subsection. You will check the job status in the current currently, and here is jobs have been executed recently and have been finished success, or failed will be showing here. So with this dashboard, you will get a lot of useful information very easily and quickly, because it's very intuitive. And after talking about the dashboard, I want let's focusing on the monitor center. Vinchin Monitor Center here. Click Monitor Center. Here we have 4 menus: jobs, alerts, logs, and reports. Then, so you can use this monitor center to manage all of your jobs, alerts, logs, and reports, and find anything you want. And let's see the jobs menu. And all jobs created on the Vinchin server can be viewed and managed here in this job menu. And as you can see, all the status stopped, pending, and all will be showing here. And click the job name, you will be directed to the job details page. So here is the instant restore job. And for example, if I go to the backup job, and so you can see other information about this job: configurations, storage strategy, and advanced strategies. And here we have the run log and the VM list. All the virtual machines, including this backup job, will be showing here. And here, history job page shows the running history of this backup job. Success or failed, all will be showing here. So this is the current job type. If the job is executed successfully, and it will be automatically go to the history job. So you can check all the jobs that you have created and executed here. Then it's alerts page, logs page, reports page. So I don't go into all the details about these 3 pages. Of course, it's very easy to understand. And another thing I want to cover after talking about monitor center is what does looks like for your first backups. You know, for example, you just install the software and logged into it for the first time. How do you get your first backups going? The way you do that is first you go to the first virtual infrastructure, resources menu, virtual infrastructure. As you can see here in my environment, I've got multiple different virtual platforms here, and already authorized them all. Of course, adding a new virtual infrastructure is also very simple. Click Add, and then select a targeted one in the drop-down list, and then just fill in this information, and then you can connect it to your virtual infrastructure. After added successfully, it will be shown in this list. And the next step, you'll need to click also to authorize the physical host under this virtual platform. So this is how to register your virtual infrastructure. The next arrow that will direct you to is the storage view. As you can see here, I've got a couple of backup locations already set up. And click Add, then you can add a new storage to Vinchin. Here, for the local repositories, we have partition, local disk, local directory, LVM, fiber channel, ASCII, and FSAFS. And for the outside repositories, we have the outside storage, which means another Vinchin backup server. And we can do the archive to the cloud storages. Cloud storage, as I shared in my presentation, we support the AWS S3 and Alibaba Cloud. So if you have got your backup locations defined here, then you can go to the Vim backup to create your virtual machine backup job. Backup menu. How to create a backup job? It's also very simple. Just follow the instructions. Only complete the 4 steps, then you can create a virtual machine backup job. First step, just select one or more of virtual machines that you would like to include in this backup job. And the next, the second step is to choose the target storages. Which backup storage you want to use to store these backups in this job. And the next, the third step is to configure your some advanced features shown below. Time schedule, speed controller, storage strategy, retention policy, and some advanced strategies. And we have another feature called the strategy template. If you don't want to set up these features in each single job, you can use our strategy template feature, which you can go to the resources strategy menu to pre-configure these features in one strategy template. And then when you create a backup job, here you can choose your strategy template and don't need to configure them one by one. And here, for example, I choose the full backup. And then just configure your transmission strategy, transport method, and some of the individual strategies for this virtual machine, virtual platform. And after complete, then this final step is to confirm these configurations. Then you can submit. So this backup job is created successfully, and we can start it now. And due to the today's time limited, let's just go to the next part. So don't need to wait it finished. So this is how to create a backup job. It's very easy, right? And it's also pretty easy to restore the backups with the Vinchin Backup server. And we provide 3 different types of recovery for the virtual machine backup. Restore, instant restore, and granular restore. We'll directly starting by covering the instant restore. So how to use the instant restore? Let's see, for example, you have a virtual machine and it is broken when you're working, and maybe it's very particularly large, like 2 terabytes. So how to quickly restore this virtual machine? If you use the normal restore to recover this virtual machine, it might take a while. It might take a while that, and in the meantime, your colleagues are not able to utilize the service of that virtual machine was providing. So under such circumstances, you can use our instant restore feature. Let's see how to create an instant restore job. First step, just confirm the points in time that your target virtual machine that you want going back to, and then select the target host to run the instant restore VM. And here in the virtual machine configurations part, you can configure the virtual machine's name and the network. Okay, now this system is running. Let's just wait for a second. Okay, now we can just rename this virtual machine and choose to whether power on the virtual machine after restoring. I will enable this. And just configure the network, and then just rename this job so that you can remember it. Click OK. So this instant restore job is here, and just start. If nothing unexpected happens, maybe after a few seconds, we can go to my VMware environment to check, okay, this virtual machine is already here. And it's already can run now. So this is our instant restore feature. And another thing I want to talk about from a recovery perspective is the Granular Restore. Granular Restore, I just introduced this feature in my presentation. So how to configure Granular Restore job? First step, just as same as the instant restore. Choose the target point in time of your target virtual machine that you want to go back to, and then you can you have option to rename this job. Click OK. Then I will start this job, and then click this job name to go to the job details page. After the Vinchin server is access the target virtual machine, and all the files will be in this virtual machine will be showing in the right box, and then you just can find your target files or folders and directly download them from this page. So this is the Granular Restore. Okay, here the files is already showing. Let's just, for example, find the target here folders. Click this button. Then these files can be downloaded directly from the browser. Okay, so this is our Granular Restore. And another feature I want to introduce is our backup copy feature. Backup copy feature, how to create a backup copy feature. First, you need to go to the storage to add your another offsite Vinchin backup server to this backup server as your offsite storage. And here, just fill in these informations. And after added successfully, then you can go to the backup copy module to create a copy job. So the configuration process is also very simple, just similar as the backup job. Time schedule and destination. Here, if you add your another Vinchin backup server to this backup server, then you can here choose the offsite storage and then select the corresponding backup server. And if you don't have a offsite or DR site, and you here also can select on-site storage to copy the backups to this storage to keep your data under protection. And then configure the transmission strategy, retention policy. Then a copy job can be configured. And here we also have the copy restore job, copy restore feature. And once your primary production environment is rebuilt successfully, then you can transfer your copied backups from your offsite storage to this production environment using this copy restore feature. So this is a backup copy feature. And it's also very easy to configure the copy and the copy restore jobs. And here is the backup archive feature. So with this feature, you can archive your local backups to your cloud storage. The job configuration is also very simple. It's similar as the backup jobs. Time schedule, and here destination, transmission strategy, retention policy. Then we also have the archive restore. If anything happens to your local backups, you can transfer your archived backups from your cloud storage to the local storage using this feature. So this is a backup archive feature. And the last feature I want to introduce in my today's demonstration is our data visualization. Just go to the top right and click this button, data visualization, then the page will automatically jump to this big screen. I believe this color already attracted you. It briefly presents the information of the virtual infrastructure. You see protected virtual machines and the backup storage, and the backup load, the network into the network, and the test result, and the other useful informations in this single graphical screen. So with this screen, your administrators can demonstrate to their supervisors about the real-time status of the Vinchin backup server and their virtual infrastructures. For example, in a conference room, so the reports and the presentations will be easily made based on this single screen, as you can get all the information you might need to your supervisors. So this is our data visualization features. So I think that's all I would like to share with you in today's demonstration. So if you have any questions, just feel free to raise them in the chat box.
Thank you so much, MENA, for your demonstration and explanation. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions, please let us know. Okay. I think we are done, MENA. Thank you so much. Please, everyone, if you have any question, if you have any concern regarding anything, please send us an email, okay, to me personally or one of our team, or to sales@abs-mena.com. We will answer it immediately. Thank you so much for attending today. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much, MENA, for your time also, and for your team. Appreciate your efforts.